146 marks.
146
marks. 43.
ಓಕೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ವೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿದಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಹಂಗೆ. ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಲ್ವಾ? ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಂತು? 87. ಮತ್ತೆ ಫೋನು
87, 72, 83, 84 -4 83 ಅವ್ರ ಸೆಂಚುರಿ.
ನಾವು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇವ್ರು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ.
ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್. ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಮಾರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಈಸಿ ತಗೊಳಂಗಿಲ್ಲ.
17 ಸರ್. ಇವ್ರದ್ದು 18, -4 20.
ಇವ್ರದ್ದು
26.
67 ಮಾತ್ರ ತಪ್ಪು.
ಅವ್ರು ನಮ್ಮ ಸೀನಿಯರ್.
ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಷ್ಟು ನಿಮಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಎವಿಡೆನ್ಸ್. ಇನ್ಯಾರು ಬರೋರಿದಾರ? ಲೇಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಬರ್ದಿರೋರು ಐಡಿಯಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಬೈ ಡಿಫಾಲ್ಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಶೇರ್ ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಶೇರ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಐಡಿಯಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಫುಲ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಕೊಡಿಸ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೋದಿತ್ತು. ಜುಡಿಷಿಯರಿ ಮುಗ್ದೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತು. ಅಲ್ಲ ಅದಿದೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪೇಪರ್ ಇದೆ.
ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವೀಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಸಿಗ್ತಾರೆ.
ಕಾಮನ್ ಒಂದೇ ದಿವಸ. ನಾಳೆ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾಳೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, ನಾಳೆನೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಅರ್ಧಂಬರ್ಧ ಆಗದ್ ಬೇಡ, ಆಯ್ತಾ?
ಬೈ ಡಿಫಾಲ್ಟ್ ಕೆಪಿಎಸ್ ಸ್ಯಾಟರ್ಡೇ ರಜಾ.
ನಾಳೆ ರಜಾ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ಸಂಡೇ ರಜಾ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ
ಸ್ಯಾಟರ್ಡೆ ಸಂಡೇ ಇಸ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಇಷ್ಟ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. DA ಸೆಷನ್ ಇದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ. ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಮೆಟ್ಟೂರು ಹತ್ರ ಇದಾರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಅವರು ಮಳೆ
ನಂಬರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಓಕೆ, ಅವರೇ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಹಿಂದೆ ಇದು ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀರಲ್ವಾ, ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಗಳು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸರಿ, ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಹೇಗೆ ಎಥಿಕ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ. 5 minutes ಬರ್ಬೋದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಇದೆಯಾ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಆತರ ಎಥಿಕ್ಸ್ ಇಂದು? ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಹೇಳಿ. ಓಕೆ.
How does one uphold constitution?
ಸೊ ಮೊರಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಬೈ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಲ್ ಮೊರಾಲಿಟಿ, ರೈಟ್? ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಲ್ ಮೊರಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸಾಂವಿಧಾನಿಕ ನೈತಿಕತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆ, ತುಂಬಾ ಏನೋ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪೇಪರ್ಗೂ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗತ್ತ ಕ್ವಶನ್. ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಓದಿದೀರಾ? ಓಕೆ. ಇನ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಮೊರಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀರಾ?
Self evaluation of what
ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ರೈಟ್ ರಾಂಗ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಸೊಸೈಟಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ? ಈಗ ನೆಪೋಟಿಸಮ್ ಫೇವರೇಟಿಸಮ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವ್ಯೂ ಇಂದ ರೈಟ್ ರಾಂಗ್?
family point of view.
ರೈಟ್. ಅಯ್ಯೋ ನಮ್ಮೂರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಬಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಮಾರಾಲಿಟಿ ಅದರದೇ ಆದಂತ ಸೆಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಹೌದಾ? ಅದ್ರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅದು ಸರಿ ಅನ್ನಲ್ಲ ಅದು. ಸೊ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಮಾರಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಕೀಪಿಂಗ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಸ್ ದ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂವಿಧಾನವನ್ನ ಆಧಾರವಾಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಯಾವ್ದು ಸರಿ ಯಾವ್ದು ತಪ್ಪು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ವಿಮರ್ಶೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಲ್ವಾ, ಅದು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಲ್ ಮಾರಾಲಿಟಿ. ಹಂಗಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಸರ್? ಯಾವ್ದು ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್?
Social, secular.
ತುಂಬಾ ಸಿಂಪಲ್. ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಿಯಂಬಲ್ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಪೀಠಿಕೆ, ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಮ್ದು ಸಾವರಿನ್, ಸಾರ್ವಭೌಮ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ. ಓಕೆ. ಸೋಷಿಯಲಿಸ್ಟ್, ಸಮಾಜವಾದ, ಜಾತ್ಯತೀತ, ಸೆಕ್ಯುಲರ್, ಡೆಮೋಕ್ರೆಟಿಕ್, ರಿಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್, ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವ ಮತ್ತು ಗಣತಂತ್ರ, ಗಣರಾಜ್ಯ. ಇದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ನೋಡಿ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇವು. ಸಾವರಿನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದ ಸಾರ್ವಭೌಮತ್ವನ, ನೋಬಡಿ ಇಸ್ ಅಬೌವ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಅನ್ನೋ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಒಪ್ಕೊಂಡೇ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದು. ನಾಳೆ ಯಾರೇ ಬಂದ್ರು ಇಂಡಿಯಾಗಿಂತ ದೊಡ್ಡವರಲ್ಲ, ಚಾನ್ಸೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಪತಿನೇ ಆಗಿರ್ಲಿ, ಪ್ರಧಾನಮಂತ್ರಿನೇ ಆಗಿರ್ಲಿ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ತಾನೆ? ಸೊ ಸೋಷಿಯಲಿಸಂ, ವೆಲ್ಫೇರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪೀಪಲ್, ಜನರ ವೆಲ್ಫೇರ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದು ನಮ್ಮ ಡ್ಯೂಟಿ ಅಂತ ಭಾವಿಸ್ತದೆ. ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಆಲ್ ರಿಲಿಜನ್ಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್. ಸೊ ಗಿವ್ ಪವರ್ ಟು ಪೀಪಲ್, ಎಲೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಹೆಡ್ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್, ನಾಟ್ ಮೊನಾರ್ಕ್ ಹೆಡ್. ರಾಜರು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಲ್ವಾ? ಅಟ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನಿಷ್ಟು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇದಾವೆ.
social,
ಜಸ್ಟಿಸ್, ಈಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ, ಲಿಬರ್ಟಿ, ಫ್ರೆಟರ್ನಿಟಿ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು
but quality certain.
ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನಾಲ್ಕಲ್ಲ,
Personal, economic.
ಹಾ, ಅದು ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೇನ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಏನು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನು ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಲಿಬರ್ಟಿ, ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದ ಫ್ರೀಡಮ್, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಫ್ರೀಡಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಪೀಚ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ರೈಟ್ ಟು ಲೈಫ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಫ್ರೆಟರ್ನಿಟಿ, ವಿ ಆರ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಅ ಬ್ರದರ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಇವಿಷ್ಟು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇವು. ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ನಮ್ಮ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಬೇರೆ. ಈಗ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮ್ಮ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ, ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇವನೇ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ತಾನೆ. ಹಂಗಾರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಮಾರಾಲಿಟಿ? ಆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಮಾರಾಲಿಟಿ. ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್ ದ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್, ಸಂವಿಧಾನವನ್ನ ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು? ಸೊ ಪಾಲಿಸ್ಬೇಕು, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಅದನ್ನು ಪಾಲನೆ ಮಾಡೋದೇ ನಮಗೆ ಸಂವಿಧಾನಿಕ ನೈತಿಕತೆಯನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ಕ್ಲಾರಿಟಿ ಸಿಕ್ತಾ? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ?
How does one uphold the constitution?
ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಯಾರು ಲಾಗಿನ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ವಾ? ಆಯ್ತು, ಆಗಿದಾರಾ? ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇದು. ಇದಾರಲ್ಲ, ಓಕೆ, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಹಾ, ಒನ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಪ್ಷನ್, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್.
How does one uphold the constitution?
ಸೊ ಈಸಿ ಇದೆ, ಇವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದಕ್ಕೂ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇದಾವೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ 10 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇದಾವೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 10 ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇದಾವೆ. ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ನೇಷನ್ ಅಥವಾ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಐಡಿಯಲ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು.
Now, fundamental duties.
ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ, ಫಂಡಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಡ್ಯೂಟೀಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಇದಾವೆ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಈಗ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫಂಡಮೆಂಟಲ್ ರೈಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಕ್ಯುಲರಿಸಮ್, ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಡ್ಯೂಟೀಸ್ ಸಪೋರ್ಟಿವ್. ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಇರೋದಲ್ಲ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್. ಈಗ ಎಲ್ಲ ರಿಲಿಜನ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದಿರ್ಬೋದು, ರೈಟ್? ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಫ್ರೀಡಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಪೀಚ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ಬೋದು. ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಕವರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಇವಾಗ. ಸೊ ಹೌ ಟು ಅಪ್ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಫಾಲೋ ದೋಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ವೆರೆವರ್ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ಫಾಲೋ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಡೆಮೋಕ್ರಸಿ ಅಪ್ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು, ಆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅಪ್ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಒಂದ್ ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆಯಕ್ಕೆ ಫಂಡಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಡ್ಯೂಟಿನ ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ದಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಇಸ್ ಏನೋ ಕಂಪ್ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್. ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಮೂಲಭೂತ ಕರ್ತವ್ಯಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಸಂವಿಧಾನದ ಮೌಲ್ಯಗಳನ್ನ ಎತ್ತಿಡಿಯುತ್ತೆ. ಇಟ್ ಅಪೇರ್ಸ್ ದ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್. ಐಡಿಯಾ ಬಂತ? ಸೊ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪಾಲಿಟಿ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಪಾಲಿಟಿ ಮುಗಿದಾಗ ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಬರೀತೀರ. ಬಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಿದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್. ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಲ್ ಮಾರಾಲಿಟಿ ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ ನಮಗೆ, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ? ಸೊಸೈಟಲ್ ಮಾರಾಲಿಟಿ ವರ್ಸಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಲ್ ಮಾರಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಯಾವ್ದಕ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು? ಸೊಸೈಟಲ್ ಮೊರಾಲಿಟಿ, ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಲ್ ಮೊರಾಲಿಟಿ. ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇದಾವ? ಖಂಡಿತ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ಕೆಲಿಟನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಹೇಳನಲ್ಲ, ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ನೆಪೋಟಿಸಮ್, ಫೇವರೇಟಿಸಮ್ ಇದಾವಲ್ಲ, ಸೊಸೈಟಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನು. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿಂಕ್ ಇರೋದು ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟಿದೆ. ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡೋದು, ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಎಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್, ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಸೊಸೈಟಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕೂಡ ಹೌದಲ್ವೋ? ಈಗ ನೀವು ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಪತಿಗೆ, PM ಗೆ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡೋದೇನು? ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಯಾರೋ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಇದಕ್ಕಿದಂಗೆ ಕಲ್ಮಾಡಿ ಬಂದ್ರು ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಟಾಪರ್ ರೈಸ್. ನೀವು ಗೆಟ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಟಾಪರ್ ರೈಸ್ ಅಂತೀರೋ ಮಾತಾಡಿಸ್ತೀರಾ? ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಎದುರುಗಡೆ. ಈಗ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನಾವು ದೂರದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗೋದು ಬೇಡ. ಅಪೋಸಿಷನ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿನವ್ರು ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬರೇ ಭಾಷಣ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬೇಕ ಹಂಗ ಹಗ್ಗ ಮುಗ್ಗ ಬೈತಾರೆ. ಒಂದೇ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇಬ್ರು ಬಂದಾಗ ಶೇಕ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಆರಾಮಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಯು ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಸಿ ದಟ್. ಎದುರುಗಡೆ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ನಾವ್ ಯಾರನ್ನು ಇದನ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡೋದನ್ನ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ಸೊಸೈಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅದು ಸಿಂಕ್ ಇದೆ. ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಕೂಡ ಹೈಯರ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ್ದಿದೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು, ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ. ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ 100% ಸಿಂಕ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಅದನ್ನೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು. ಯಾಕೆ ನಾವು ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ನ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ? ನಮ್ಮ ಸೊಸೈಟಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅದು. ಏನಪ್ಪಾ? ಅದನ್ನೇ ಫೈನ್ ಹೆದರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಹೊರತು ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಲ್ಲ. ಸೊಸೈಟಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅದು. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗತ್ತಾ? ಅಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ದೆ ನಾನು. ಸೊಸೈಟಲ್ ಮೊರಾಲಿಟಿನ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಮೊರಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟರ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಮೊರಾಲಿಟಿಗೆ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು. ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ನೋಡೋದು, ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡೋದು, ರೂಲ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಹೆದರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಪನಿಷ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೆದರ್ಕೊಂಡು. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗತ್ತಲ್ಲ? ರೆಡ್ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ನೋಡಲ್ಲ ಜನ, ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಇದಾರ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ತಾರ ಆ ಕಡೆ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಅದ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಹಿ ಇಸ್ ದ ರೆಡ್ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ದೆಮ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅವ್ನ್ ಪರಿಚಯದವನಿದ್ದ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ನಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹಂಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಸೊಸೈಟಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ. ಇದು ಅವನು ಕೂಡ ಸೊಸೈಟಿನಲ್ಲೇ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಕಾವೇರಿ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪೊಲೀಸು ಪ್ರೊಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೇಬಲ್ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ 100% ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಸಕ್ಕೆ ಎಫರ್ಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕು. ಬಟ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರ ಅವರು? ಅವರೇ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ನೀವು ಮುಂಚೆನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಬೇಕಂತಾನೆ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಮ್ಮ ತಡೆಯಕ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ನುಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರು ಅಂತ ಬೇಕಂತ ಇವರೇ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಹೋಗು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಅದು? ಅವರು ಈಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ಮಂಡ್ಯ ಫಸ್ಟ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಅವ್ನ್ ರೈತ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪೊಲೀಸು. ಸೊ ಅವನಿಗದು ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ, ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್ ಸಡನ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ನಮ್ಮವ್ರನ್ನ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಹೊಡಿಯೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಬಟ್ ಅದೇ ಮಂಡ್ಯದ ಹುಡುಗ IPS ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಅವನಿಗೆ ಕಾಗ್ನೇಟಿವ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ ದಪ್ಪ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಹಿ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಬಿಹೇವ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗತ್ತಲ್ಲ? ಹಂಗ್ ಬಿಹೇವ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಅವನು. ಲೋವರ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಆತರ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಅವನು. ಮಾಡೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಕಾಣೋ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಂತೂ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರು. ಸೊ ದೇ ಶೋ ದಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲೇಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನೀರ್ ಬಿಡಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇದೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ? ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಕಾವೇರಿ ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯುನಲ್ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಹಂಗಾರೆ ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅಪ್ಹೆಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ದ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಲ್ ಮೊರಾಲಿಟಿ. ಎಲ್ಲದು ಯಾವ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರು ನಿಮಗೆ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಲ್ ಮೊರಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಪ್ಹೆಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಓಕೆ. ಎಷ್ಟೆಷ್ಟು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಗಳು ಹೊಸ ತರದ್ ನೋಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಷ್ಟಷ್ಟು ನಿಮ್ದು ಹಾರಿಜಾನ್ ವೈಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬ್ರಾಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಾ. ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? ನೋಡಿ ಎಥಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓಕೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಐಡಿಯಾ ಸಿಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ UPSC ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾರು ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಕಾನ್ಫ್ಲಿಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್.
ಪಾಠನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ.
ಕಾನ್ಫ್ಲಿಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್.
ಕಾನ್ಫ್ಲಿಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್.
In looking for people to hire, you look for three qualities. Integrity. And it is not have to pass. The other two will kill you.
ಓಕೆ, ಎನಿವೆ ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರಿಟಿ ಮಾಡು. ಇವಾಗ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಅವ್ರ ಸೆಷನ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೋ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಇನ್ನು ನಿನ್ನೆ ಬರ್ಸಿದ್ನಲ್ವಾ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ನಿನ್ನೆ ಒಂದಾಯ್ತು. ಯಾವ್ದು? ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಶಾಲಿಟಿ ಆಯ್ತು. ಸೊ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ, ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರಿಟಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಡೆಡಿಕೇಶನ್ ಟು ಸರ್ವಿಸ್, ಕಂಪ್ಯಾಷನ್. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರಿಟಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳು. ಈಗಲೂ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ಮತ್ತೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ರೋಲ್ ಕಾನ್ಫ್ಲಿಕ್ಟ್. ಹೇಳಿ, ನೀವೇ ಹೇಳಿ. ಈಸಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಈಗ ಮುನೀಶ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ವೇದಿಕೆ ಕೇಳಿ ಅವ್ಳಿಗೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಕೊಡೋರ್ಗು ಸಮಾಧಾನ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನೀನ್ ಸುಮ್ಮನಿರು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ. ಹೇಳಮ್ಮ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿ. ಈಸಿ ಇದೆ, ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಮಾಡಿ. ಎಥಿಕಲ್ ಡೈಲಾಮನ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತ. ಎಸ್, ಆಗಿರೋ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು. ಎಸ್, ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಮಾತಾಡಿ. ಬನ್ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬನ್ನಿ. ಓಕೆ.
Understanding and ethical dilemma. Complete understanding.
ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್ ಓಕೆ, ಹೆಂಗ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಕಲ್ತಿರೋದೆ, ಹೊಸದೇನು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಹೆಂಗ್ ಡೈಲಮ, ನೀವು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, ದೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಈಸಿ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್ ಬರೆಯೋದು. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಡೈಲಮ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಹೆಂಗ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ಆ ಡೈಲಮನ? ಅವಾಗ ತಾನಾಗೆ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಡೋಂಟ್ ಲುಕ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸಮ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್, ರೆಡಿಮೇಡ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್ ನ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹುಡುಕ್ಬೇಡಿ. ಒಂದ್ ಡೈಲಮ, ಈಗ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಥಿಯರಿ ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಹೆಂಗ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ನೀವು?
ಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಯಾರು ಅಂತ.
ಡೈಲಮ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಲ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ? ಒಂದ್ ಡೈಲಮ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಏನೇನ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನೋಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಡೈಲಮ ಏನು ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಅದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೇನೆ ನೀವು ಕ್ಲಾರಿಟಿ ತಗೊಳಕ್ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ಡೈಲಮ ಏನ್ ನಿಮ್ದು? ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಹೇಳಿ ಯಾವ್ದಾರು ಒಂದು.
ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಬಿಡ್ಬೇಕಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ.
ಹಾ, ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ರೆಪ್ಯುಟೇಷನ್ ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೊ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆ ಫಂಡ್ಸ್ ಬರೋದ್ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾ, ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಕಾಪಿ ಹೊಡೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇದನ್ನ ತಗೋಬೇಕಾ? ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಡೈಲಮ. ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ನೀವು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ನೋಡಕ್ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಬರಿಬೇಕು. ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಇದೆ ನಾವ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ತಗೊಳೋದ್ರಿಂದ? ಸೊ ನಾನು ಯುಟಿಲಿಟಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾ, ಪಾತ್ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾ, ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಮಾರ್ಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗೋದ್ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾ, ಅದರಿಂದ ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆ ಲಾಭ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾ? ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಅಥವಾ ಏನು ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾ ನಾನು? ಅದು ಕಾಪಿ ಹೊಡೆದಿ ತಪ್ಪು ಸರಿ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಡೈಲಮಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ನ ಅಡಾಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ. ಹೆಂಗ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಿದಾರ ಅವನು. ಅದು ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ಲಿ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗತ್ತಾ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಈಗ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆದ್ರೆ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗತ್ತಾ ಅಂತ, ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗತ್ತಾ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ತೀರ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್? ಸೊ ಅದೇ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಅಂತ. ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ನೋಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ಲಿ ಈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ದ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಇನ್ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಅದಾಗುತ್ತಾ ನಾನು ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಮೇ ಬಿ ಯುಟಿಲಿಟೇರಿಯನ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಥಿಯರಿನ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು. ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ. ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಹೋಗಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರೈಟ್ ಪಾತ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಯುಟಿಲಿಟಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ. ಡಿಯಾಂಟಾಲಜಿ ಲೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಯುಟಿಲಿಟಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಲೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಔಟ್ಕಮ್. ಒಳ್ಳೆ ದಾರಿಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು. ಬರೀಬೋದಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಸರ್? ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್. ಡೈಲಮಾ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಇದನ್ನ ಬಿಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು. ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಂಗೆ ಡೈಲಮಾ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನೋಡೋದು ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಈಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಎನಿ ಕಾನ್ಫ್ಲಿಕ್ಟ್ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ಗೂ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ಗೂ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಾರ ಕಾನ್ಫ್ಲಿಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಬಟ್ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ಗೂ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾನ್ಫ್ಲಿಕ್ಟ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ನಾನು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ನೋಡ್ತೀನಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೌ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಡೈಲಮಾಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಲೈಫ್. ಯಾವ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಿಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಇದನ್ನ ಯುಟಿಲಿಟಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾ, ಪಾತ್ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾ, ಯಾವ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾರ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾ. ಬಟ್ ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ ನಾವು ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಇದೆ, ನಂಗೆ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಲಾಂಗ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಇವತ್ತೊಂದ್ ದಿವಸದ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಡಿ, ಲಾಂಗ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಈಗ ಫ್ರೀಡಮ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವತ್ತಾದ್ರೂ ಅಷ್ಟು ಜಾಗ ಲಾಠಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ಸ್ಮೂತ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ತಿರೋ ಅವ್ರು ರಿಯಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಜಿನಾನ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಜನರಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆದ್ರೂ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವರಿಗೆ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಲಾಂಗ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಬರ್ದಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಲುಕ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ದೀರ್ಘಾವಧಿ ಕಾಲದಕ್ಕೆ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಇರ್ಬೇಕೆ ಹೊರತು ಅಲ್ಪಾವಧಿಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಐಡಿಯಾ ಬಂತ? ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾವತ್ತು ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೇಕು. ನನಗೆ ಡೈಲಮಾ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. 1 2 3 4 ಅಂತ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೋ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ಸಿದ್ದನ್ನ ಹುಡ್ಕಾಕ್ ಹೋದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹಿಂದೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವೇ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಬೈ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್. ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಬಿಟ್ಟು
Sir, I'm not very familiar with this system. Could somebody help me? Sir, Bartira sir. Okay, I got it. Okay, hi. You're all seeing me for the first time. Nanu first time classic bartidini. In fact, last December enroll madide class ge first time barta idini because I travel far. Okay, so nange ivattu sikkiro topic emotional intelligence. So what I will be doing is what emotional intelligence is and civil service ali how important emotional intelligence is. Okay, have you ever done a questionnaire? Yavatadu questionnaires madidira? Can we do a questionnaire on emotional intelligence? This is not a very apt questionnaire. On crowd kodakago questionnaire idu. So normally on the psychological setup al kottaga we control the conditions inside. So I'll put up a questionnaire. Those who want to read in Kannada is also there. Questions na read ಮಾಡಿ. Don't think too much. Tumba rational agi on answer kodbedi. The first response that comes into your mind, put in that response. The more you think, your scores become negative. So that shows that you're basically lying. So don't think more. The very first response that comes into your brain, ಆ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇವೇನ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಟೂ ಮಚ್ ಆಗಿ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಡಿ, ಇದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸರಿ ಹೋಗತ್ತಾ, ಅದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ತಪ್ಪಾಗತ್ತಾ, ಏನ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತೋ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಹಾಕಿ. ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಗಿವ್ ಯು ಐಡಿಯಾ as to what level of emotional intelligence currently you have. And later throughout my class I will show you how you can improve on your emotional intelligence and how important it is along with your IQ also. Yes.
How many questions are there?
20 sir. ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ.
So, anything.
So make it as fast as possible. And ನಾನು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ. I couldn't take a print out because ಅದು ಕನ್ನಡ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿಂದ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಬರ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಕನ್ನಡಕ್ಕೆ ನನಗೆ. So read the questions. What you will do is write question number 1 and ಆ question number 1 ಗೆ scores ಇದೆ. I will tell you how you do that. Okay. So this is a questionnaire. One is never means ನಾನು ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಇದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಅಗ್ರಿ ವಿತ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಯು ಆಸ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 1 ಕೊಡಿ. ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ರೇರ್ಲಿ ಐ ಡೂ ಗಿವ್ 2. Sometimes and make sure you don't usually give me sometimes is you stand on both the sides. ಆ ಕಡೆ ನೋಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಈ ಕಡೆ ನೋಡ್ತೀನಿ, so that gives a very negative scoring to me. So make sure you don't give more of 3s. So be very definite, I do it or I don't do that. Okay. Usually means always I do, and 5 ಎಲ್ಲ ಸತಿ this is what I do. Okay. So ನೀವು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ನ ರೀಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಿಮ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ನ ರೈಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 1. ಸೊ ನಿಮ್ದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಹಾಕಿ. ನೆವರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 1 ಅಂತ ಬರಿ. ಡೋಂಟ್ ರೈಟ್ ನೆವರ್, ರೇರ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಬರಿಬೇಡಿ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೋಸ್ ಸ್ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಸಮ್ ಅಪ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ. ಓಕೆ. ಆ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಓದಿದಾಗ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಮೀ. Once you're done ಹೇಳಿ, I'll just scroll. Sir, online idara sir?
Yes, me too, we are there.
Okay. Guys, you also can do the same. I'm very sorry I didn't speak to you all. So you guys can also just go to the questions and give in your response in the column. So you just write the question numbers in your book. So first question, if it is rarely, give a score of 2 or a score of 5. So once you've done till question number 4, just let me know. I'll scroll up.
Done.
Scroll ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ? Done. Online, can I go?
I am too. Me too, can I get those options like it's like 1, 2, 3 like never antala idiyalla adu numbers ondsati kaanboda?
Here you go. You can just take it down on your book so that you can refer it every time you answer a question. Can I
Yes.
scroll?
Yeah.
Doubt idea? Done. ಆಯ್ತಾ online? Are you all done? ನಿಮ್ದು ಆಯ್ತಾ? Online ಆಗಿದೆ. Can I scroll?
Yeah, me too. 2 questions. 8, 9, 1 ನಿಮಿಷ. Yeah, me too. Scroll.
ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ?
Yeah, me too.
ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಆನ್ಲೈನ್?
Yes, yes.
ಡನ್? ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ? ಅವರು ಆಯ್ತು. ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ?
Yes, me too. Done.
Can I close? Everybody done? Can I close the screen? ಮೇಲಕ್ಕ. Now let's just quickly do the scoring for these. So now your scoring range from 1 to 5. So ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, you see the first column there, it speaks about self-awareness. Question number 1, 5, 9, 12 and 15 deals with your self-awareness. ಆ question numbers ಗೆ ನೀವೇನ್ ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರೋ, question number 1 ಗೆ say I have given 5 ಅಂದ್ರೆ 5 ಬರೀತೀನಿ. For question number 5, whatever is my score, you will write your scores and total it up there. Same way second column ಗೂ question numbers ನ ನೋಡಿ ನಿಮ್ದು response scores ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅದನ್ನ fill ಮಾಡಿ. First 2 columns ನೋಡಿ, don't go below right now. Online also the same. These are next 2 areas. Social awareness and relationship management. Question numbers, response, total it up. You all got your totals? Online ಆಯ್ತಾ?
Relationship management ಬಂದಿದೆ. Done.
Okay. So this will give you the interpretation. ಈ test ಅಲ್ಲಿ lowest score anybody can score is 5. That is to be understood. And any score which is below 18 is considered that you have to definitely work on your emotional intelligence level, which means you don't understand your emotions. If we don't understand our emotions, definitely we don't understand the emotions of others. That does not mean you are not an emotional person. It means you are a very emotional person. You cannot control your anger, your sadness or happiness. Either you express to my extreme level express ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ or you suppress it completely. So when you do that, ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ರು ಎಮೋಷನ್ಸ್ ನ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So that is for the score which is below 18. Score above 18 is a very healthy level of score, and highest anybody can score is a 25. Anybody below 18? It's okay. So you can just keep it to yourself. So try to become a little sensitive towards the feelings around. Okay. So this was just to start my topic. So ನಾನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದು emotional intelligence and how we use that in governance for civil service. Okay. So ಅದು ಏನು, ಹೇಗೆ ಅದನ್ನ apply ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, or do we actually apply that? So before going to emotional intelligence, we need to understand what intelligence is. Could anybody tell me what intelligence is? Let's make it more interactive because I am no teacher. We're all together. So you can tell anything. So what you feel intelligence is, there is no intelligence there is no right response. Whatever you feel intelligence is a right response, absolutely. So nimge intelligence and the ಏನು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ? Application of what knowledge?
What we have learned.
So is it only of what you have learned? So you say a child who does not go to school has no intelligence because he or she has not learned anything yet? These will be the points that I will be covering today. Introduction to intelligence. I will just give you a brief history how emotional intelligence concept shuru aitu with 2 slides, and definition of emotional intelligence. Adal baro components. The main components of emotional intelligence are the areas that you scored right now. 4 areas. There are basically 5. In that 4 you have scored. Okay. And how EQ is different from IQ. Are they different? Is EQ important or IQ important? We'll just have a discussion. And I'm sorry, that is not to be there. It was supposed to be the components itself. Okay. Okay. Now intelligence. When we say intelligence andaga, it is not just our academic intelligence, right? One environmentally, nan hege adjust ಆಗ್ತೀನಿ, how my personality adjusts to a environment that I am in. That is my intelligence. A dog also has its own intelligence. A road al dina barbekanದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು intelligence ಇರ್ಲೇ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ತಾನೆ. Every dogs have their territories. Birds have their territories. So ಅವ್ರು ಯಾವ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಗೂ ಹೋಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಹೋಗಿಲ್ಲ, right? So intelligence is something that you inherit. Genetically you get. Why you get that? That is given by nature to you to decide how you will adjust to one situation. In human beings, intelligence becomes a higher end when you get into academics, where we call it to be cognitive intelligence. So sir, previous classes ali cognition ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ. What's cognition? It's just thinking. In psychology, we do not call it thinking, we call it cognition. Like every field has its own technical terms. Do we say heart attack? What do they say in medical terms? Cardiac arrest. And ಬೇರೆ condition ಗೆಲ್ಲ medical terms use ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ we will not understand. So that way has its own medical term, where we do not call it intelligence, we call it a cognitive intelligence, which means your thinking intelligence. From where do we think? From your brain. We usually use our brains to think. So cognitive intelligence anta ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ always it is your intellectual intelligence. When I say your emotional intelligence, that means where your heart plays a major role or your emotion plays a major role. Okay. So am I going fast? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ, right? Online ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? There's a problem with all of us online. So we are very multitasking online. We sit in class, we do other things also. So intelligence is a key construct employed to know how individuals differ from one another. Yes? Nah. So how you are different from your friend will determine how much is your level of intelligence and how much is her level of intelligence. And your level of intelligence comes from where? From the social background you are, your family setup, your genetic makeup. Adina enhance madake you need academic exposure, you need social exposure, environments. Okay. It also says how people adapt their behavior according to the environment. ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ I put you in North Korea, you can still sustain there. Your body will adapt, you mentally will start adapting, but as initially kashta agate, but we start adapting. That is where your intelligence plays a major role. When you have the emotional breakdown, nangagala vapas barbeku, uta sari hogtilla, jaga sari hogtilla, that's where your emotional intelligence plays an important role. Okay. This is what intelligence in terms of a common human being is. But when it goes to psychology or when it goes to your civil service, interviews alala, most of your questions are based on your emotional intelligence level. Our answers definitely they look into, but they see at what confidence level you give these answers. Answers, do you immediately give me answer, or you take time, think, and you give an answer? Are you ready to say, I don't know the answer to this question, sir, I am ready to read up about this question? So these are the aspects of emotional intelligence that is assessed, or intelligent levels are assessed during your interview levels. Okay. In psychology, what we see with intelligence is a person adapts to an environment, but our environment adapt adaga a personally yav abilities irbeku or qualities irbeku our environment ki adapt agake. Those are the qualities we try to look into an individual. So our qualities idaga on yav environmental hakadunu he adapts to that. So these are the qualities that is looked on from you in an ethics paper when you write. So what is that?
Search option.
Huh?
ಅಲ್ಲಿ connect to wireless display.
Thank you. Okay, so what we try to understand is what are the attributes of mental alertness? What is the level of mental alertness that individual has? How quick is an individual in learning new things or adapting to new situation, and the ability to understand relationships. So these are some examples of how intelligence is determined in an individual. Okay, can I move? So fine, intelligence, there are many definitions of which I find this to be very apt. Okay, so this definition of Robert Sternberg says the mental abilities necessary for adapting or to adjust to a situation, as well as to shape and select an environmental context. So when the environmental context ali hege on the individual adapt ಆಗ್ತಾರೋ, that is intelligence. Okay, you can just actually, when you quote these, you get marks, is what I hear. You know better than me with your civil service. So you can just, keep these quotes in your mind, which is very easy. Hesu Sikkilandu Parvagila, you just say a famous philosopher once said this, and it just goes like that. Let's do an activity. Okay. So I said intelligence, and that will try to your mental alertness nodatte. Okay. So try to understand what is a relationship I ask in this question. If 16 is to 8, okay, then what is 18 to be? Sorry. How do I go back? You all do CSAT really good, yeah? So this should just be a cakewalk to you. How do you say it's a name?
9.
So we have just developed a relationship that half of 16 is 8. So which means I can do it at half of 18 is 9. There are some who take time to understand that also. I do fall in that group. I know this because I put that question in. Okay. So this is where it shows your mental alertness. How quick are you in these slight things? Next one. If boat is to water, then what is plane to? Does it float, sky, air,
Fly.
fly?
Fly.
Why fly? Why can't it be air, sky? I feel all the four does suit it. The plane floats in the sky. It is in the sky. There's air. It is in the air. It flies also. So what's the right answer? Sky. How many say sky? Sky ಮೇಲ್ ಬರ್ಬೋದು ಅರ್ಧ ಅರ್ಧ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ. Okay. The others? Fly. Everybody. Same as above. Okay. The answer is sky because you need to get the first relationship tagondre, you get the relationship of the second one. So boat travels through water, the medium is water. So definitely the plane, the medium is air. Sorry, sky. Sky ಅಲ್ಲಿ air ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದರದ್ದು characteristics ಏನು float ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, fly ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay. So the answer was supposed to be sky. So this just shows how quick is your mental process. Those who didn't answer ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ, I'm just one chiku interaction ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Try with this. Which number will not fit in?
14.
Why? Any other possibility? I expected that answer from you. Okay. So there are two possibilities. Ondu bakela prime numbers, 14 is not a prime number. I can take that out. Another one is yes. The rest are all odds and 14 is an even number. Okay. So this was just to demonstrate that definition I gave you. So now I move to emotional intelligence. So intelligence introduction ashte. So what intelligence is this? So academically naven martivi, that is not intelligence. Okay. Now origin, how do you think emotional intelligence came? Charles Darwin ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಾ? What did he say? Survival of the fittest. So what does that mean? Perish. So law of nature, we call that to be the law of nature. Same thing. To survive in a setup, what you require more? Cognitive intelligence jasti beka, emotional intelligence beka. Emotional intelligence. Your emotions have to be under control for you to adapt to a situation. So that's what he said. But what happened? Or got an emotional intelligence and the term mado ashtu, he didn't think about. He just said emotions play a very important role. Emotions illa andre ಒಂದು organism ಗೆ survive ಆಗೋದು ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟ ಅಂದ್ರು. So ಇದೊಂದು starting ಇಂದ the next person who came was Thorndike. Okay. What he drew from this finding, and he said yes, emotion plays a very important role. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ he gave a new term called as social intelligence ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. Social intelligence ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಸೊಸೈಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಗಿರಬೇಕು, ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ವಾಂಟ್, ಐ ನೀಡ್ ಎಮೋಷನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ಫಾರ್ ಮೀ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮೈ ಎಮೋಷನ್, ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅದರ್ಸ್ ಎಮೋಷನ್. ಎಸ್, ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ he gave the term called as social intelligence. So ಈ ಫಿಲಾಸಫಿಯಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ one person does not agree with the other. So the next one comes with a better, more options. So the next person came, Howard Gardner. He came and said, only social intelligence helo badu, let's put it up as multiple intelligence. Multiple intelligence, we will speak about two components. One is interpersonal and intrapersonal. Okay. Interpersonal andre, I will try to understand ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರ ಎಮೋಷನ್ಸ್ ನ ಅವ್ರ ವ್ಯೂ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತೀನಿ, ನಾಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಮೈ ವ್ಯೂ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. ಇಫ್ ಐ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಮೈ ವ್ಯೂ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ಲಿ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಮೈ ಎಮೋಷನ್. ನನ್ನ ಎಮೋಷನ್ ನ ಅವ್ರ ಕಡೆ ಹಾಕಿ ನಾನು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಬಟ್ ವೆನ್ ಐ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ಲೂಸಿವ್ಲಿ ಓನ್ಲಿ ದಟ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸ್ ಎಮೋಷನ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಂಟರ್ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆನ್ಸ್. ಇಂಟ್ರಾಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಐ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮೈ ಎಮೋಷನ್ಸ್ ಬೆಟರ್. ನನ್ಗೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಕೋಪ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ವೈ ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ ಸೇನೋ ನನಗೆ ಕೋಪ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ, ಯಾಕೆ ಕೋಪ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ, ಹೂ ವಿಲ್ ನೋ ದಟ್? Somebody next to you will know. So you are supposed to be accountable for your emotions. You're happy, you should say why you're happy. I don't know why I'm happy. But happiness, most of them give reasons. When you're negative emotions like sad, anger, we don't give emotion. We don't give, validate why we are angry, why we are sad. So that is basically because ಸುತ್ತಲೂ ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ದಟ್ ಫ್ರಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಫೀಲ್ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್. ಓಕೆ. ಎಮೋಷನಲ್ ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆನ್ಸ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ದಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಅವ್ರು ವೇರ್ ಡಿಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಕಮ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ಇಸ್, ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಡ್ಯಾನಿಯಲ್ ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ಸ್ಮ್ಯಾನ್. He released a book called as the Emotional Intelligence, Why It Can Matter More Than IQ. From this book title, the concept of emotional intelligence came into society. Till then, we used to call it as social intelligence, or we used to call it as interpersonal intelligence or intrapersonal. So when this book released, e book ali ella concepts under one framework or under one umbrella of emotional intelligence hakittu. So it was more easier for me to call it emotional intelligence. Okay. So he was the one who coined this particular term in his book. So what is an emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is the ability for you to identify and manage not just your emotion, but also the emotions of others. Okay. Say, for example, on funeral service gogi, usually what people tell bandaga, ಏನಂತಾರೆ? On funeral ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. My Kannada is not very good. Okay, if I'm wrong, please correct me. You go for a funeral and then Ali, usually when you go there, what do you usually tell person who's sad? Nin situation nanga artha agutte. It's okay. Do you actually understand that situation? Can you actually understand the extent of the emotional outlay that person is going through? Unless and until we have lost somebody in our life, just ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ನನ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಕಣೋ. ಅದ್ ಕೇಳ್ದಾಗ the person who listens, ಅವ್ನಿಗಿನ್ನೂ ಕೋಪ ಬರುತ್ತೆ actually to say. The best thing as a good emotionally intelligent person you can do is just give him your shoulder, more than enough. Give him a hug. That is enough for that person. Alogi, these kind of dialogues, it irritates them more because you don't know. We absolutely don't even know 0.1% of what that person is going through. Same way when our friends fail in the exam. ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಕಣೋ, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. My concept of failing an exam and understanding is not his concept. ಅವ್ನ್ಗೆ ಅದೊಂದೇ ಇರ್ಬೋದು his lifetime aim. Goal would be only that. For me, pass ಆಗ next year try ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. Could be ಈ ಸತಿ civil service ಅವ್ನ್ fail ಆದ, it was his last attempt. ನಿಮ್ಗೇನ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆ? So that's where emotional intelligence plays. You need to understand that person's emotion from his viewpoint. Nim side in the emotions artha madkonde, you will only say, I understand your feeling. You don't understand their feeling. So you're only trying to sympathize with that person. You are not empathizing. Empathize maddaga, you give respect to that person's emotions and you will think the way he is thinking. Another example for emotional intelligence, let me give you. Toll alla ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, everybody drive 2-wheeler, 4-wheeler. Suddenly ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ನುಗ್ಗೆ ನುಗ್ತಾರೆ ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. This is a normal episode. What do you say? ತುಂಬಾ ಕೋಪ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Why don't we try to think that in a very different way? What if that person is in an urgent? Could be not. But why can't you think if he is in urgency, there's an emergency, or he has an exam, or he has an interview, emergency iddirbeku anta ankondidre, that is the level of emotional intelligence people develop. These kind of people who have good level of emotional intelligence, these small things will not bother them. They just tend to think it from their munde hogbeka hogu. As far as I am not in hurry, you go, it's okay for me, not a big deal. Nange hogi en dod mane kattangilla enu illa, nan urgent alilva, give that way. So that is how a very emotionally intelligent person tries to behave. Okay, what are the skills? When I say emotional intelligence, it will try to understand yourself. Good emotionally intelligent person knows very good about yourself and they are very good in understanding people. So these people are very good socially. So they have good number of friend circles. ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ರು emotions ಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ respect ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೋಪ ಬಂದ್ರು they listen to them. They try to understand why he is angry, but he will not say, why did you shout at me? He will try to understand why he is angry. Okay. Using emotions for solving complex problems of life. You use your emotions, tumba problems life will solve madad easy agate. I'll come to this when I go to another topic. Okay. Using emotions for managing emotions to lead a happy and successful life. Yes, emotion plays a very important role there also. So these are the three major components. Okay, this is a story of Solomon's judgment story. Kelidira? Okay, this is a biblical story from the Old Testament. In this, in the Bible, King Solomon is considered to be the person who has ruled his kingdom with uttermost level of emotional intelligence and IQ. Okay, so he's called to be genius. Why? Another problems our kingdom al bandaga, he analyzes the situations really good. So there was one incident that came where Ibru ladies came with one baby and said, "You nan magu anta heltu." So you give my baby to me, give my baby to me. Ibru, they were fighting with each other. So the king was confused. It actually yar baby anta, because aa kaladalli DNA testing eno irlilla. So how do you think he would have come up with a conclusion thinking who is the right mother of the baby? So what he did was he said, okay, done. Both are not ready to compromise on kelsa mana, baby na cut marana. So one part you take, the other part you take. So both of you get your baby, go home. So the real biological mother of the baby, what will the mother do? So mothers are usually very sacrificial, right? That is a very innate, inborn quality that comes to a mother. So mother antu, no, don't do that. Nan baby na aurge kotpedi parvagilla antu. And the other lady said, no, I'm ready. We can divide the baby among both. So with that, the king was very clear as to whom does this baby actually belong to. So at times, emotionally dealing also solves certain situations rather than intellectually dealing. Okay. Intellectually, mothers, you have 2 apples, you give both the apples to the children, right? Fathers ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನೀನ್ ಒಂದಿಟ್ಕೊ ನಾನು ಒಂದಿಟ್ಕೊ ಅಂತೀನಿ. They equally divide. That's where intelligence plays, and that's where emotional intelligence plays. Okay. Now tell me how good or bad these things are. The first one is water. Is water good or bad?
Good one.
Both, right? Water is very essential for living, so it's definitely very good, and it can even take your life. So it is both good and bad. How about wealth?
Sufficient amount of.
Above that is not good. Okay. Fire. Again, basic necessity for survival. Yes, it can also burn. So it is again hazardous also. Power. Aren't we all writing this exam for power, status? I tell, okay, everybody, when we ask why you writing this civil service, I know everybody says I write this exam for to serve the society. Yes. Anybody else who says yes to serve the society? I don't agree with that. Absolutely don't. If society serve marbekande, you have many other forms to serve the society. But to serve the society with the governmental control is a different setup. There you require power, and that which is attracting you is that power, right? So the power of a civil servant is really high. So that, and our power na properly utilize madilandre enagutte, it will destroy you again. So power is good and bad as well. The next one is food. Very good. It can even be bad if you eat in the, you go exceed the limit, you eat the food. Next is electricity. Good or bad? Good and bad. So, okay. So these were with things. Okay. Now let me go with emotions. Let's go fast. Love. Very good. It can be very bad also. It can just kill you also. Okay. Hatred. It is good also. You have to show hatred towards certain things. If you don't show hatred, then adu mansala irate, that emotion is not expressed. So hatred is both good and bad. Trust, good and bad. You have to trust people, but not trust everybody. Okay. Fear is good and bad. Fear is a basic survival instinct in any organism. So now survive ಆಗ್ತಿದೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ because we have a sense of fear. Fear is not that by now all of us would have gone. Due to fear is why we are careful in doing things actually. Kindness. Anger. So idella expressions tane, emotions tane. So same way, emotional intelligence ali, ee emotions ella, they are good and bad. But what matters is, as Aristotle says, when you put things across at the right time, in the right place, for the right situation, with the right person, then your intelligence makes sense. So he told it with anger, let's put emotions there. So when you put emotions with the right person, at the right degree, to what level ನನ್ನ emotion express ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಅಷ್ಟು emotion express ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, at what purpose and at the right way, that is called the quality of a very good emotionally intelligent person, which means you are completely at control of your emotions. Okay, so that is the definition for emotional intelligence. This is given by Aristotle. Another story of the two monk and a woman. Okay, monks and so they give up all worldly pleasures. So they are not allowed to even look at women. Illa muttaku bidangilla. Okay, so two monks were going to cross the river. Our jothe one lady was there. The lady could not cross the river. So the elder monk en mardu, he took her and put her on his back. Okay, and he crossed the river. Along with him, the little monk also crossed the river. Or they reached the other side of the bank. That lady left, and Urubru, they kept walking for nearly half an hour. Utter silence, they are just walking. This little monk is thinking. ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು ಲೇಡೀಸ್ ನ ನೋಡಬಾರ್ದು, ಮುಟ್ಟಬಾರ್ದು, you become impure, that is against your teachings. So he decided, let me ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ courage gather ಮಾಡಿ ಕೇಳೇ ಬಿಡೋಣ ಸರ್ಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ. And he asked, sir, you taught us that you should not look at ladies, you should not touch them, nor even look at them. But you actually put her on your back and you crossed the river. So don't you think you went against the teachings of our scripture? So what do you think the monk would have said? Or marid sarina tappantira? So what he said was, Nan Maridu Nan Dharma. What does our Dharma say? You need to help people in need irrespective of their gender. Now, she could not cross the river. It was flooding. I helped her cross the river and I let her go. But neenu avಳನ್ನ ಇನ್ನೂ ನಿನ್ ಮನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ, ಸೊ ತಪ್ಪು ನಿಂದ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ. So every emotionally intelligent person reacts to the situation the right way, and the situation is over, you finish it there. You don't carry it forward. So those who carry it forward are the ones who are really weak emotionally, who don't know to rationally think certain situations. So this was another example. Okay. I go back into the 5 components of intelligence, emotional intelligence, given by Daniel Goleman. Who was Daniel Goleman? So he was the one who coined the term emotional intelligence. So in emotional intelligence question, Banag, I think you can put that in. So you can get an extra marks. I think, I don't know. So I should say that. Okay. So what are the 5 areas? Is self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, motivation, and social skills. So these are the 5 areas that he spoke about in his book. So on each area we'll just go in detail. So it will help you with your, this also comes into your application. Aita. As civil servants, how do you think we can apply self-awareness? What is self-awareness? Just break the term self and aware of yourself. Okay, so it says it tries to make you aware of your emotions better. Nim emotions na neev chanag artha madkondre, it is very easy for you to understand others' emotions. Okay, so self-awareness is a very first tool which is very important. So they know their strengths and weaknesses. How many of you know your strengths and weaknesses? Most of the interviews ali say, we do corporate interviews. Interviews ali common questions that we ask is, tell me some of your strengths and weaknesses. They just give a list. Adali choose a correct answer, ma'am antare. So is it right to tell your strengths and weaknesses everywhere? You can say your strengths, but when it comes to your weaknesses, make sure you do not tell your weaknesses like, I'm bad with time, I'm impatient. So you can put your weaknesses in such a way that you say, I'm a perfectionist, which means I cannot tolerate certain level of, inaccurate work. So I give my 100%, which means, yes, at times you consume more time, but accurately you see things antanu ansate. So interviews, it's a very major question. If you tend to get, never mention your weaknesses and never tell them, I don't have any weaknesses also. When you say I don't have any weaknesses, it means you have not grown on the level of emotional intelligence, it says. Okay. So on 3-4 list of weaknesses, which is both good or bad, like the other list I gave, like fire, food, both good or bad. So you don't fall under the list of bad list of weaknesses. Okay. They can predict their behavior accurately. So people who are very aware of yourself, he can predict what is my next behavior pattern, the next emotion enanta, very good, he can predict. They don't let their feelings dominate a rational mind, which means our rational mind or cognitive mind, they do not allow to be taken over by their heart. Okay. So every time they do not get confused between your emotions and your intelligence. ಅದನ್ನ ಎರಡು combine ಮಾಡಿ, they always make sure that they are emotionally, they understand things better. So this is with self-awareness. Yes. Basically, it says you know yourself very well. Well balanced with both heart and mind, we say. So your heart and mind connection is very well balanced, both the sides. So you're not very heart dominated person or brain dominated person antivi, who are very good in self-awareness scale. Nimge adrallitala self-awareness scale, so you can know your ratio, how much is your ratio there. Self-regulation andre balancing. Regulate, that's why the picture is right there. It allows you to balance your emotions as well as emotions of others. Okay. So this aspect of emotional intelligence involves expression of emotion, where self-regulation includes how flexible you are. ಏನೇ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರು ಹೇಗ್ ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನ ಕೋಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನಲ್ಲಿ, ಅಂಡ್ ಕಾನ್ಫ್ಲಿಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಗ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ. ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಎನಿ problems in your life, or you run away from problems? Is it good to manage problems, solve problem, or run away from problem? Can we solve every problem? Manage. Okay. Running away? At times, certain problems require you to run away from it for certain duration, where time will give a solution to those problems. Okay. At times, you have to solve, you can solve that problems. At times, you can manage. ಸೊ ಕಾನ್ಫ್ಲಿಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೇ ಆಪ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನೀನ್ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಕಾನ್ಫ್ಲಿಕ್ಟ್ ನ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಕಾನ್ಫ್ಲಿಕ್ಟ್ ನ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಮಾಡು, ಇಲ್ಲ ರನ್ ಮಾಡು ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆ ಕಾನ್ಫ್ಲಿಕ್ಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಬೆಟರ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಡಿಸೈಡ್. Running away from solution is good. If you feel right now I don't have a solution to this problem, run away from that. Time will give you a solution to that problem. If you feel nange problem solve madak agate, solve. Unnecessary, don't waste time on a problem. So nobody says you have to solve the problem and move forward. Okay. So that's where emotional intelligent person works pretty well. It also refers to diffusing difficulties, which means reducing difficulties or any tensed situations, and being aware of how one's action will affect others. So you take ownership of your emotion towards others' emotions also. So the way I behave should not reflect in a very negative way towards others. So I make sure I behave good so that the other person is also happy, where I give importance to his presence also. Okay. They direct their emotions to create better life for them and people. So emotionally intelligent people idaga, people around them is also happy, they are also happy. They make sure that they make others also happy. They don't keep themselves only happy. Okay. Next one, motivation. Motivation andaga emotional intelligent person ಏನು motivate ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? What kind of motivation do you know about? Have you heard about something intrinsic and extrinsic motivation? In andre inside. Okay. Extrinsic means external. We call it internal motivation, external motivation. What is internal motivation? ನಾವು ನಮ್ಗೆ motivate ಆಗೋದು. How many of you have self motivate ಆಗಿ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಬರೆಯಕ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಕೆಲವರು ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರನ್ನ ನೋಡಿ ಮೋಟಿವೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಬರೆಯಕ್ ಬರ್ತೀವಿ. We wear helmets because we are motivated by the traffic police in the signal. Some self-motivated so that I have to reach home anta helmet wear ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, right? So motivationally, it plays a very important role. If motivation is internal, first triggering of a motivation ನಿಮ್ ಒಳಗಿಂದ ಬಂದ್ರೆ, whatever you have decided, you can do that. Externally ad motivate ಆದ್ರೆ, it is very evident that you deviate very fast because it is not very core inside you. Okay. With higher level of emotional intelligence, those people are always internally motivated. So aurge motivation agirtare, they will not see, it does not mean they have no role models or they do not look upon people. They do look upon people, but at the end, their feelings and their importance plays a very important role. End of the day, for them, they have to feel I have done something good. So that plays a very important role. Okay. Intrinsic motivation means an individual is driven to meet personal needs and goals rather than being motivated by external rewards, money, fame, power. ಇದು ಬೋರ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ at one point. Internally ನಾನು ಮೋಟಿವೇಟ್ ಆದ್ರೆ every day going to work becomes happier for me. I get 2 lakh salary, 3 lakh salary. 2 ತಿಂಗಳು ಆ ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಬೋರ್ ಆಗಕ್ ಶುರು ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ನ 1,000 rupees ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರೋದು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಬಂದಾಗ. ಬಟ್ ಕೆಲ್ಸಕ್ ಹೋದಾಗ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಮೋಟಿವೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡೋ ಕೆಲ್ಸ ಇಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟು ಹೋದಾಗ you actually enjoy even if the pay is really less. Okay. More likely to be, they're very action oriented and always initiatives first tagontare. They do not wait for somebody else to start something. They take initiatives very first. Don't you think the last 3 that we discussed is very important for a civil servant? Okay. Next, as I said, they are more likely to take initiatives. I move to the next one. Empathy. What is empathy? Sympathy, empathy. Just one difference with an example you give, it should be interesting. ನನ್ನ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫೇಲ್ ಆದ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ನು ಅಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾನ, ಅವನ ಜೊತೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾನು ಅಳಕ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಿಂಪತಿ. ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಕಣೋ, ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫೇಲ್ ಆಗಿದ್ಯಾ, ಮುಂದಿನ ವರ್ಷ ಇಬ್ರು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಓದಿ ಬರೆಯೋಣ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಎಂಪತಿ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್. So empathy says you understand his emotion, but you stand in your emotional outlay. You do not break down because he is crying. Sympathetic people ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, my friend committed suicide, he will also commit suicide because he could not take that emotional cases are there that way. We have had cases coming. Why the son committed suicide? Because his friend committed suicide. He could not live without the friend. Sympathizing. So empathy says rationally ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ, they give a very good solution. That is called as empathy. Okay. Empathy refers to being able to understand how other people feel. So you definitely understand how other people feel. Another example could be getting into the shoes of others. So our situational into our angle in the yoshne madi, come back. Don't stand there and think. You get into their emotions. Come back and from your rational mind give a solution. That is empathy. The component of empathy and emotional intelligence enables an individual to respond appropriately to other people based on recognizing their emotions. So that's what I said. Appropriately, you will respond recognizing what emotional range that person is in. That is empathy. Empathetic people, they are very good listeners. People who are very empathetic, who understand others' emotions, are very good listeners. Yavattu judgmental irala, because I understand your emotions, and they're very compassionate. Very good quality for a civil servant, because we are there to serve people, definitely not to administer people. Okay, we administer with the government, but you are there to serve people. To serve people, definitely you need to be non-judgmental, very good listening skills. You have to have very good listening skills and compassionate hagirbeku. But you cannot get carried away by emotions also. So you have to rationally think and emotionally act accordingly as well. Next one, social skills, very important. Okay. Social skills will say society setup ali how we will behave with others. So different social setups, like what is active listening? How is active listening different from just listening? Eradu same or difference idea? How many say same? What is the difference? Now ಈ class ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ, apart from what I speak, is there any other voice you can hear? ಏನು ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. Can't you hear the traffic voice out? I know drilling is going on. How many of you paid attention to the traffic voice and the drilling sound? You were listening to me? I don't know how many were listening. So those who were listening to me says that is active listening, where you, apart from different auditory stimuli coming, you decide and ಏನ್ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ನಿಮ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ, which means you pick what you want to hear. We call it selective listening. Selective listening says what you want, only that you will pick up and listen. But active listening says from the other stimuluses you will actively listen to what you require. So that is active listening. So always inculcate the behavior of actively listening to people than just listening. If you just listen, you will not know ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿದಾರೆ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿರಲ್ಲ. Actively you listen, even ಸುತ್ತ ಏನ್ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಇದ್ರು ಅದೇನು ಕೇಳಿಸಲ್ಲ, you will definitely pay attention to that person. This is a very good quality for a leader, for a civil servant. You definitely need to be an active listener. Okay. Good verbal communication, yes, definitely. It does not mean you have to be very good with English, you have to have very good personality, good looking, nothing. If you can communicate good in a very local term that common person understands your language is more than enough. Oxford level English ಬೇಕಿಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಬೇಕಿಲ್ಲ. Common ಆಗಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಹೇಳೋದು ಏನು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆಯೋ that is more than enough. How simply you put terms forward. Okay. Non-verbal communication, how good you can understand the non-verbal informations coming, like body language, voice, tone. So non-verbal bandaga definitely is a body language, your eye movements, your tone also plays a very important role. Some say I'm very happy, but their tone does not say they are happy. That's a non-verbal cue. You need to pay attention to that also. So which means you have to be very alert of your surroundings. That is a very good quality for a social skill. Leadership. Do you think leaders are born or we can make leaders? So you all have decided to be leaders, right? Civil servant is a leadership role. So leadership always comes with great amount of pressure and great amount of responsibility. Once you decide to become a leader, you should definitely take the responsibility of all that. Leadership, I usually, when I teach my students, I put it in cross-telling as parenting. Leadership is basically parenting. ನೀವು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಹೇಗ್ ಬೆಳೆಸ್ತಿರೋ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್ ನ ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ ಟೀಮ್ ನ ಬೆಳ್ಸಕ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ದಟ್ ವುಡ್ ಬಿ ದ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಲೀಡರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯೂಸ್. ಲೀಡರ್ಶಿಪ್ಗೆ ನೀವು ಗುಡ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ಬೇಕಿಲ್ಲ, ಏನು ಬೇಕಿಲ್ಲ. ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಮ್ಮ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೆಸಿದಾರಲ್ಲ, they take good care of you. As parents, we also take very good care of our children. What do? We teach them the right thing. ಆಚೆ ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ do we actually say people ಇವನೇ ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಅಂತ? No, we take that blame of our children. So leaders are one who basically parent their team. As a civil servant, if you can parent your people, when people come to you, you sit, understand their problem. If you can emotionally connect with them, that itself is the quality of a very good leader. Okay, leaders are very good listeners, and leaders, they don't talk, never they talk. Now no leaders always in the front row, they get the limelight. Leaders are never in the limelight. They always prefer being behind. They leave people front. Opinions bandaganu, good leaders are the one who allow the team speak first. And adondu advantage irutte, always check ಮಾಡಿ. ಒಂದು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ನಡೆದಾಗ vote of thanks ಯಾವತ್ತು, before vote of thanks, the talk that the chief guest will give or the guest of honor is at the last. Why do they keep it at the last? He is a leader. ಅವ್ರು ಬಂದಂಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ? And they prefer speaking in the last. Why? When you speak at the last is where everybody pays attention to you. Okay. ಹೋದಂಗೆನೆ when you start talking, everybody is occupied with other activities. So ನೀವ್ ಹೇಳೋದು ನಿಮ್ presence mark ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Anybody who goes, they decide to talk at the last only because all the programs are over, everything is over, people are just sitting relaxed. That is when they listen to you. So that's how leaders are. You allow your team to speak everything. Say for example, you are a civil servant, you have to discuss something. Discuss mado topic na nim team first kodi, let them come up with very innovative ideas. Ideas nella itkondu you can frame a very good idea actually. So you can come up with very good ideas. Nee first one idea kottaga, it gives a non-verbal cue to your team telling, ee idea framework al matra neevu kelsa madbeku, don't think beyond. You will not tell that, but mentally that non-verbal cue goes to people. So first, when you make it an open discussion, you get very good creative ideas. Ideas ella consolidate ಮಾಡಿ, you can come up with a very good idea. That's how leaders are. Okay. You develop very good rapport with people, good connection with people agate. And in turn, in short, it says you have very good social skills where you can collaborate with people very good. So a very important quality for a civil servant. Yes or no? Bore ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? Understanding? Okay. So they believe in team success rather than individual glory. So they always give importance to the team. So team na munde nilsi, they always stay behind. Okay. And they communicate their feelings well and understand the behavior of others. So people with very good social skills, very good leadership skills, or yen views ide, yen points ide, whatever is the emotional outlay, they discuss it very clearly with their people, and the people understand everything very clearly. So our understanding rapport build adre functioning or working is very easy. At times you say this man is shouting, ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದು ಕಿರಿಸಿದಾನೆ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಬಂದಂಗೆನೆ, we don't know. So somewhere long time sir on case study ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು where that officer, that manager kept shouting at his employees because he had problems in his personal life. Yes, so there ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇದೆಯಾ? So there is where it shows his emotional outlay is very bad. So you need to know where I put what emotion and how I connect with my people. So that is social skills. So these skills last very long if you are a people person. Do you think we can develop emotional intelligence? Inherit agutta illa develop ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಬೋದಾ? Trainable quality na? It's a very trainable quality. Today, none of the corporates look into your IQ level. They do not see what is your scores. They do not see what is your degree. If we do questionnaires for most of the ITs over here, every questionnaire of ours is only assesses the emotional intelligence of an individual. Now, yavattu IQ test ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, because IQ ಯಾವತ್ತು can be trained. A project specific ಆಗಿ ಯಾವತ್ ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೂ ನನಗೆ ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. Maximum 1 month, 2 months I can train the individual. But on normal level of EQ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ on office ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೈನ್ ನನಗೂ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, because he is not good for himself, not good for the people around. In turn, the company goes on loss. The same with the government. If you are not good with your emotional intelligence, you will not work good with your people. You are not good with the people, society is not happy. Society not happy, government end of the day will lose there. Okay. So let's see how important emotional intelligence is. It's a 67% of your ability deals with emotional intelligence, twice more than your IQ. So ಇವಾಗ ಹೇಳಿ, IQ important ಇದೆಯಾ, EQ important ಇದೆಯಾ? Okay, emotional intelligence or intelligence is important? Very important is that? Anybody who says different answer idea? Online, anybody? Okay. I happened to see a interview earlier of Sadhguru. Okay, so he interviews Salpa Nortini to get a few quotes. He gives few quotes which actually coincides with my subject. So once he was interviewed by Karan Johar, I believe, he asked him, "Sir, is it always required for an individual to love what he does or to do what you love? What do you think is the right answer?" ನೀವ್ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇರೋ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡದೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾ? ಮಾಡೋ ಕೆಲಸ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. Love the work you do, you say. Okay. Or how many say love the work you do? How many say do the, what is that, the other one? Do the work you love. The rest, do the work you love. Okay. What he said was, intelligent people will do what you like, they will do. Genius, what they do is, ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ what you like, what you don't like does not matter. How much you have to work, ಅಷ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. That becomes a good or a bad work. So that is where emotional intelligence stays. Emotional intelligence also says how well you balance emotional intelligence and your cognitive intelligence. ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಮೋಷನ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀನಿ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನನ್ನ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗದ್ ಬೇಕಿಲ್ಲ. You need not have to show everything about yourself. You should maintain your secrecies also. Personally, you definitely are a very different person. So just work. ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸ ನಾನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಷ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ definitely I have more time to do more things. If I do what I like, what do? We tend to give more time to it. ಮಾಡಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಪ್ರಿಸೈಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. So ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. Okay, that's what he said. Okay, emotional intelligence is absolutely essential in the formation, development, maintenance, and enhancement of a close personal relationship. So across all these slides, so finally when I say, so now you understand, it is very important to function in any setup, government setup alagli, corporate setup alagli, maneladru. Your emotional outlay in the house is definitely your emotional intelligence. That's how you connect with people in your home. Okay. How emotional intelligence is important to civil servants. Okay. So we swear by what? We are government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So you are working of the people, by and for the people. So people play a very major role in our lives. So where people means it definitely is emotion there. So every individual emotion get importance kortivo, that much of respect you get, and you are also content at the end of your service. You feel that yes, I have met ಎಷ್ಟು needs ಪೂರೈಸ್ ಇದು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗ್ತು ನಂಗೆ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. Civil servants have to be administrators. You administer things. At the same time, you have to be servants to the citizens where you look into every needs of them. Definitely, we are writing an exam to come there and serve people is what we say. So serving people is definitely a service to people. So you have to be servants to people. The moment you get that feather on your cap, that throne becomes a lifetime achievement to us. You feel like, I am high now. People have to look upon me. No. Ondsati a pressure tagontini anta decide ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ cracking the exam, yes, big tension. Crack ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ pressure. That responsibility ಬಂದಾಗ it's not going to be cakewalk. You might have sleepless nights. You might not even have time with your family. You must be able to take that pressure as well. That's where emotional intelligence plays. Okay. We as civil servants must treat citizens as our extended family. As civil servants, you are leaders. As leaders, parent your citizens. Make sure that you cater to the needs of your citizens is your duty as civil servants. We must connect with citizens emotionally to derive energy and motivation for their work. So, nim team jote emotional connect iddaga, everybody morning kelsak bandaga, they'll be happy to work with you. Otherwise, I have seen most retiring functions martivala police academy. There are some people today. This IG sir is getting retired. Tomorrow they'll be the happiest person to come and work because nalinda avar tallana idalla office alli anta. So when you retire, people have to cry for you seriously. They should feel that, sir, it was nice working under you. You have to say, you should feel. For example, when Punit Rajkumar sir passed away, when he was there, we never looked into his presence. Yes, movies noted, yes, he's a dancer, but nobody knew the services that he did. But when he passed away, that is when you actually knew the absence of that person. Actors didn't make a difference in our life. So this is what the difference makes. That shows he was definitely a good leader who was very silent. So these are certain qualities which you will have to have. This one picture hakidini. This is a case basically Karur, that is Tamil Nadu ali, a collector, okay? Anbaragan. He got to know that there's an 80-year-old lady in his district who does not have shelter. And she has no facilities to eat food also. So our Tamil Nadu government ali, housing schemes ali, he made sure that this lady gets a house irrespective of her not having her documents. And he made sure that, and he releases money for her 1,000 rupees every month. And a check kodakoskara, he went to his home with food for her. So he sat down with her and had his food. How many servants do that? So this is the emotional connect. Martare nam country ali politicians ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ election time ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಸ್ನಾನ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. Why connect emotionally to all of us? Yeah? So they know the importance of emotional intelligence, right? ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಸುಮ್ನೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕಲ್ಲ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆನ್ಸ್ ಸಾಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ. ಎಮೋಷನಲಿ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆದ್ರೇನೆ ಆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ವರ್ಗು ಎಷ್ಟು ಪಾರ್ಟೀಸ್ ಬಂದು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಬಟ್ ಇವ್ರು ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಗ್ ಬಂದು ತಿಂದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೋಗಿ ಓಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ತಿವಲ್ಲ, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಮೇಜರ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಅನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್, ರೈಟ್? So somebody comes home and eats food, that is a big respect to us. So we definitely respect back to them by giving them what they ask. So that's why we call Aditi Deva Bhava, right? So that is how emotional intelligence are played by politicians also. Okay. So this was what he did. This was a case study. What you have to do to be emotionally intelligent, ಏನ್ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, you don't have to go for courses, nothing. First, be as you are, be human. Being human in the sense, respect every individual. ಅವ್ರು ನೋಡಕ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದಾರೋ, societally high influence ಇದಾರೋ, or they're really weak people. How many of us can go sit and have food with that lady? I think until I knew certain things, I would not do that. ಆಗತ್ತಾ? ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಾ? That is being human. You have to be very sensitive towards the needy. Civil servants are there to work for the needy. So any person coming in need to you, that means ಅವ್ರು ನಿಮ್ನ ನಂಬಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. So ನಿಮ್ ಕೈಯಿಂದ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೋ, make sure you do that through the system only, but definitely not off the system. Always remember the position that you are is never an ivory chair. Okay, so my teacher always says a very beautiful thing. He says, whatever is your position is never constant. Your police people ಸಿಕ್ತಿರೋ respect is only because of the uniform he is wearing. ಅವ್ರು ನಾಳೆ ಯೂನಿಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಹಾಕದೆ ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಯಾಕೆ ಹೆಲ್ಮೆಟ್ ಹಾಕಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, will you listen to him? ನೀನ್ ಯಾರ್ ಕೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೆ. Even if he says I am a police, we will not believe until he shows me his ID card. Yes, so this is why law and order ಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಯೂನಿಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಬೇಕು? To get that respect, you need uniform. So civil servants, whatever is your respect that you gain is not a respect for the individual you are. You are getting it for the status you are in, or the position that you are in. ಆ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಡೈಲಿ ಫಿಲ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವು ರಿಟೈರ್ ಆಗ್ತೀರಾ, ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಾ, ಫಿಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಉಳ್ಕೊಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ, ನೀವು ಆ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಇಂದ ಹೋಗಿದ ಮೇಲೇನು ಈ ಸರ್ ಈ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ, you need to be a human. That is all enough for it. Okay, so always remember the position that you have is just like a plastic cup. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಕಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ? ಕುಡಿತೀವಿ, ಮುಗಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿಸಾಕ್ತಿವಿ. ಸೊ ಅಂಟಿಲ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್, ಯು ಆರ್ ದೇರ್ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್. ನೀವು ಹೋದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಬೇರೆ ಚೇರ್ ಫಿಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆಫೀಸ್ ನೀವು ಪೇಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಿಮ್ ನೇಮ್ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ನೀವು ಮಾಡಿರೋ ಕೆಲಸ ಉಳ್ಕೊಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ರಿಮಾರ್ಕಬಲ್ ದೇರ್. ಯುವರ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆನ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಟಿಲ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ದೇರ್, ಕಾರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ರಾವಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಮುಗಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಾಪಸ್ ತಗೊಂತಾರೆ, which means it is not given to you, it is given to the position that you are in. So ಆ position ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಉಳ್ಕೊಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ, make sure that you behave in a very human way with people. So gel with people, team ಅಲ್ಲಿ differentiations, perceptions build up ಮಾಡದೆ, gel with everybody good. When you know some team member is not good, ಅವ್ನಿಗೆ ಇದು ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದಾಗ, make sure that you give an extra effort to do that. ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೇಲಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಬಂದಾಗ, say for example, he just failed in one paper. Do I put him out of the house? What do I do with the child? I understand the child. I try to understand why he couldn't do that, right? ಅದನ್ನ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಲ್ಲ, ಸೇಮ್ ವೇ ಆಸ್ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ನಿಮ್ ಟೀಮ್ ನ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ನಿಮ್ ಟೀಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾರ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಕೇಳಕ್ ಬಂದ್ರು, ಇವನ್ ಯೋರ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ದೇರ್, ದಿ ಅದರ್ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಕೇರ್. ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗಲ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ಸರ್ ಇದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ನೀವ್ ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಯು ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಇನ್ಕಲ್ಕೇಟ್ ದಟ್ ವಿದಿನ್ ದೆಮ್, ಹೌ ಯು ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ದೆಮ್. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೌ ಯು ಡೂ ದಟ್. Treat people as human beings. Anybody coming in is a human being. ಅವನ್ಗೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಇದೆಯಾ, ಕಾರಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದಾನ, how is his dressing, he smells good, he does not smell good, ಏನು ನೋಡ್ಬೇಡ. ಏನ್ ಕೆಲ್ಸಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, they have the required documents, this work is to be done. If it is done by you, please do that. If it can be done by others, please refer them to the other person. So that is a very good quality. Put ourselves in their place. Always think, ನಾನು ಆ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಹೇಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ, ಆರ್ ಥೇಕ್ ಆಸ್ ಯೋರ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಮೆಂಬರ್, ಆ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಅಂತ. Always take that person as a human. So that's what just being human says. So this develops emotional attachment and overcomes prejudices against people. So you will not have definite terms, these people are like this, these people are like this. Muslims ಬಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಇವ್ರು ಬಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಮುಸ್ಲಿಮ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಹೀಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರು certain prejudices ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. If you behave human, ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ನನ್ಗೆ ಒಂದೇ ತರ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, you will not have any discrimination between people, you will work for that people. So being human is very important quality. So this is where you share your empathy. Next one, remove negative emotions. Means learn to see the world from the other's viewpoint also. ನಾವು ನಮ್ ಕಣ್ಣಿಂದ ಲೋಕ ಮಾತ್ರ ನೋಡಕ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಎಮೋಷನ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. Try to see the world from the other person's view also. You try to take things in a very broader manner. Okay. Learn to see the negative things in yourself. How many of us see negativities in ourselves? I am perfect. Negativities nodi en martira. Do we work on that? You do. Nice. So, nammalli ಏನ್ negativities ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು try to work on that. Only then can you work on the other person's negativities. Okay. Learn to see positive side of others. Always try. An example I'll give you. Say, for example, ನೀವು ಮೆಟ್ರೋ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾಗ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಚೇರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕಾಲೆಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಡು ಯು ಫೀಲ್? ಇರಿಟೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕೆ ಹಿಂಗ್ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಇಷ್ಟು ಲೆಥಾರ್ಜಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಡಸಂಟ್ ಹಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಮ್ಯಾನರ್ಸ್, ಡಿಸೆನ್ಸಿ? ವೈ ಕಾಂಟ್ ವಿ ಥಿಂಕ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಫ್ ಹಿ ವಾಸ್ ಟಯರ್ಡ್ ದಟ್ ಡೇ? ತುಂಬಾ ಹೆಕ್ಟಿಕ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮುಗಿಸಿ ಬಂದು ಅಷ್ಟು ಟಯರ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹಿ ಸಿಟಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ವೇ ಮೀನ್ಸ್. If it was your father or a family member, won't you think it from their angle? Yes, he is tired. So that's what it says. Look at people from a positive notion. Adu always positive. Avun lethargic agirbodu, but when you take it that way, you respect that person. That is all we are trying to tell you. We are not trying to tell you, find out if he's actually tired or he's just sitting like that. Try to respect that individual. Could be on kutkondre adrinda yargu kashta agtilla, nashta illa. But don't develop a negative feelings about him. Develop ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, you sit in the train, you think about him. ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋದಾಗನು somewhere subconsciously this keeps hitting you. You know, you might consciously not put effort there, but still there's some kind of irritation that comes in. That's why it says, see the world in a very positive way. Understand people. Third quality, okay? Understand ourselves as we are and understand people as they are. Understanding people and I will not understand what I understand about you. Understand yourself. ನೀವು ಹೇಗಿದ್ದೀರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Same way, others also understand them the way they are. Don't understand them the way you think they will be. Okay, so just give them their freedom to express how they are is what understanding people says. Don't expect either you or others to be one should be, which means don't try to change anybody. Don't change yourself for others. Don't change others for yourself. Give each one of them their framework to work. Then the working becomes very easy to work together. A very famous philosopher, Dale, said, any fool can criticize, condemn, and complain, but only a very intelligent person or an emotionally intelligent person with good character and self-control will try to understand and forgive. We always think forgiving is a quality of a weak person. Forgive ಮಾಡೋದು ತುಂಬಾ easy ಇಲ್ಲ, ಕಷ್ಟ, ಅದು ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟ. Forgiving is a very difficult quality. Any person who develops the quality of forgiving means that person respects human life. That is what it says. So forgiving is a very good quality where you can understand people better. So that is with understanding people. This is one, everybody says avoid stress. This is one term that I have coined. I say you have to make stress your friend. The level that you are in, as I said, the very concept of civil service itself is a very tough exam. It is considered one of the toughest exams in the world, right? Adana crack ಮಾಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಾಗ is our life going to be very easy? Money, fame ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಎಷ್ಟು ದಿನ ಇರುತ್ತೆ? ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ದಿನ ಬರ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಬೇರೆ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ಗೆ ಬರಕ್ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ, ರೈಟ್? ಯಾ, ಒಂದು ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ you can't set up with the system. You don't know how to say a yes. You don't know how to say a no. ಬರೋ ಫೈಲ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದಾ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಟಾಪರ್ ಆದ್ವಿ ಅಂತಾನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಲೇಟರ್ ಬಂದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಮೇಕ್ ಶೋರ್ ವಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಡೂ ದಟ್. You need to analyze every situation. When you say a no, it has to be a very strict no. You know, when your parents say a no, it is a no, right? Papa, mama ondsati no ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ಲ. That is how I say you parent your team. Your team should know ondsati sir no ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು sir ಅದು yes ಆಗಕ್ ಸಾಧ್ಯನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬೇಕು. So you should never be fluctuated. When it comes to stress, how many of you say stress is good? Everybody says stress is bad. Okay. What's your name, ma'am? I'm sorry. Chinmay. Can you tell me the most happiest moment in your life? ನೀವೇನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ, which you remember? What was your physical response ಬಂದಾಗ? Happiness ಹೆಂಗ್ express ಮಾಡಿ? Did you cry? Did you have tears in your eyes? No. Okay. Could you have food? ಊಟ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗ್ತಿತ್ತಾ? ಸರ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಸರ್ ಮಕ್ಳಿದಾರಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಓಕೆ, ಬಟ್ ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ ಮದುವೆ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಸರ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ನಿದ್ದೆ ಬರ್ತಿತ್ತ ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ? ನಿದ್ದೆ ಬರೋದ? ವೆನ್ ಯು ವೆರಿ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ, ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಸ್ಲೀಪ್? ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಈಟ್ ಫುಡ್? ಆರ್ ಯು ಹಂಗ್ರಿ ವೆನ್ ಯು ವೆರಿ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ? ಡಸ್ ಯೋರ್ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಬೀಟ್ ರೇಸ್? ಆರ್ ಯು ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ? ಯು ಟೆನ್ ಟು ಕ್ರೈ. ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಆದವ್ರು ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ನೋಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಅಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಳ್ತಾರೆ? 5-6 ವರ್ಷ ಓದಿ ನಗಿಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕೆ ಅಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ? They cry. Aren't all these same expression you show when you are sad also? Say for example, I failed the exam. I can't sleep. I am not hungry. I cry. I am confused. So happiness gu nim body same response ಕೊಡ್ತಿದೆ, sad gu body same response ಕೊಡ್ತಿದೆ. ಮತ್ ಅದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ? So basically there is no concept of stress in our body. Okay, these all concepts are more physiological, where we call it to be the fight or the flight response, which means nim body alli on unexpected situation encounter adaga your physical body gets ready to face that situation. When you are, say for example, one lion is attacking you, will you sit and eat your food? You will definitely run, even though you're fat. ನಂಗೆ ಓಡಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಕಾಲ್ ಏಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರು ಓಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಯಾಕೆ? ನನ್ ಜೀವ ನಂಗೆ ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೊಬೇಕಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡೆ ಇದ ಲಯನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಈಟ್ ಯು ಅಪ್, or something miracle has to happen. Yes, that is your fight or flight response triggers, which means ಅಷ್ಟ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ನಿಮ್ ಮಸಲ್ಸ್ ಹೋದಾಗ, ಅಷ್ಟ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ನಿಮ್ ಬ್ರೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನ್ಯೂರೋ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಟರ್ಸ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಿಮ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ? ಐ ಆಮ್ ರೆಡಿ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ದ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್, ನೌ ಕಮ್ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಫೈಟ್. So that's where your heartbeat raises, because oxygen flow ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬೇಕು. ಎಲ್ಲ organs ready ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, they're all loading, they require more oxygen in the body. Isn't all the same response when you're stressed out? Yes. So when you're stressed out, experience of stress changes, you take it positive or negative. So till today, till I say around 2002 in Harvard University study ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, where they say stress is good. Okay, till then we had studied that stress is bad. Stress management techniques ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? ಎಕ್ಸರ್ಸೈಸ್, ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಕ್, ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನಾವ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ನ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ಯು ಇನ್ಕ್ರೆಡಿಬಲ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಟೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಮೀ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಯು ಟೇಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ವೇ. ಓಕೆ, ನನ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನನ್ನ ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಈ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಗಿರೋ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ದೇರ್. ಸೊ ವಿಚ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಅ ನ್ಯೂ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್. ಯು ವರ್ಕ್ ಬೆಟರ್ ದಟ್ ಟೈಮ್. ಅತ್ಲೀಟ್ಸ್ ಅವರು ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ನೆವರ್ ರನ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್. Athletes, when they are on their track, their blood pressure is high, the oxygen flow is really high, their heartbeats are high, because that gives them that push to run. So that push is not there, the stressful push is not there, you will never perform in your life. So always never take stress to be bad. Exam stress is very good. Exam time ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಓದಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ನ 2 ದಿನ ಇದೆ ಕಣೋ, ನೋಡೋಣ 2 ದಿನ, 2 ದಿನಲ್ಲಿ 1 ದಿನ ಬಂದೆ, ಇವನ್ ನಾಳೆ ರಾತ್ರಿವರೆಗೂ ಟೈಮ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತೀರಾ. Till then you can sit. Night you will sit, no, then you will not be able to finish the portions. That is why stress is very important. So stress ittaga enante, it's pushing you, it keeps reminding you that you have not done something. You have not done something. Please complete, please complete. So it's just a reminder. So always make sure, no, they're all students. Make stress your friend. The moment you make him your friend, he will give you whatever you ask him for. As civil servants, you work in high stressful situations. ಆ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಎಸ್ಕೇಪ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಎನಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಬಂದಾಗ that means you and your team has not dealt with that situation early. You do not have an answer to that problem already. So you have to create an answer to that problem. So that is where stress comes in. Okay, so that's why I say make stress your friend. Always you be prepared for unexpected situations. When you are always ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಕೂಲ್ ಆಗಿ ತಗೊಂಡು ತುಂಬಾ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ತಗೊಂಡು ಎಷ್ಟು ಅನ್ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಬಂದ್ರು ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಫೇಸ್. Intelligent people score 99 and they commit suicide because I couldn't score that 1 mark. ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ? That is where it falls. Okay, that he never thought I would lose. He thought I will score 100 and ಯಾವತ್ತು 99 ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ನು ಅನ್ಕೊಡಿ ನಾನು 100% ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ನನ್ಗೆ ಅದ್ ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ he loses his life. No, he does not lose because ಅಯ್ಯೋ 99 ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. So that is where he was not ready to accept an unexpected situation. So stress na always positive ಆಗಿ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ it always gives you very positive results. And studies do say that from the universities conducted. Any stressful situation, a positive agi mentally ನೀವನ್ನ deal ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ your performance is very good compared to you take them negatively. Why? It is nothing spiritual or nothing magical. When you take positive thoughts, which means in body ali positive hormones release agate. Positive hormones means neurosteroids release. These neurosteroids give extra food to your brain to work better. When your brain works better, your recovery is faster, your thinking is faster, and whatever you learned comes in faster. But when you take it negative, all your negative hormones release, stress hormones release. Stress hormone release ad again ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ body na easily ಆಗತ್ತೆ. It's a painkiller. Stress hormone is a painkiller. So it puts your body into ease. When you are at rest, can you think? You will forget concepts when you are at rest. You will not, your mind does not work. Your mind gets an information telling rest. This is a rest time. You take rest. So it will not do anything. So that's what happens when you take it negatively and positively. Face a stress situation with courage and positivity. This is what I said all this while. Stay calm even in the most difficult situations. So any situation ನಾನು ಡೀಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ, ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ನ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ, ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಕಷ್ಟ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು, ಎನಿವೇರ್ ದೇ ಪುಟ್ you keep getting transferred from place to place, you can still adapt to that situation there. Okay, the next one, express your emotions. Very important. As civil servants does not mean you have to always be strict. You have to always, stay very neutral agi yavaglu irbeku. Express your emotions. At times you can smile, because this is very common to police people, they don't smile at all. It is like our law book al barkotange irutte, yavattu smile madalla. They say ma'am smile madide ankontare, we are now strict illa ankontare antare. So that's what, as common people, what we say, when you see a policeman smile, don't be like that. Or approachable anta artha agate, right? So always smile doesn't mean keep laughing at people. Laughing is different from a smile. That subtle smile that you carry will make your body language very open. People will come and ask you certain things. Another help bekidru, they come to you. Now you again to Bangalore one hogbekandre, the way of people sit there, trigger idkond kutkontare. Electricity will kattaku agala lodaga. But when you see somebody smiling, you definitely go. You feel, yes, he's very approachable. That plays a very important role. Okay. Buddha always says, holding on to anger is like grasping hot coal with the intent to throwing it at somebody. So hot coal in bile it, I'm going to spit at somebody whom I don't like. What does that mean? You're burning yourself and don't know avarge beedatantanu gottilla. At the end of the day, you're burning yourself, you're harming yourself. So always it's better to express emotion rather than emotion nimolge itkono bandu express madi. So it gives a very clear cut idea to your people as to what is your emotional outlay that time. Okay. Unexpressed emotions will never die. Never think that nani emotion express madilla and it is over there. No, it is very much alive. It stays deep under you. It goes back into your subconscious and your unconscious. Everything that you see in the form of dreams are what comes. Neevu suppress madiro nim desires, nim likes, dislikes, what you feel. Societally nanu adanna express madidre society will not take, my people will not take on certain desires na suppress madirode you see in the form of your dreams. Some see yourself flying in the dream, some see yourself running in the dream. Certain situations nodtira, but when you come into your wake cycle, whatever you remember is just 1% of the dream that you have seen. Nobody can actually recall everything that you have dreamt, because a dream state alidaga you're completely out of your conscious mind. So our cycle, we actually go through 8 stages of sleep. So our stages mugsi vapas stage 1 bandaga ಆ ಎಂಡ್ ಪೋರ್ಷನ್ ಏನ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್. ಸಮ್ ಸೇ ಐ ಸಾ ಮೈ ಲೈಫ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್, ಸಮ್ ಸೇ ಐ ವೆಂಟ್ ದೇರ್. ಅದು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇಷ್ಟೇ ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ, ಅದು ದಿನ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಹಿಂದೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ that in their story is what, all the suppressed emotions get collected there. That's what Sigmund Freud said. That's why he's very good with dream analysis. Okay? The unexpressed emotion becomes toxic and harmful. So ಏನಾದ್ರು emotions na express ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದ್ ಮನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾಗ, these people are very toxic. They always are angry. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಇರಿಟೇಷನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾರು ಏನ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋದು they do not find it good. They're always irritating. So they're very tough to work with. When you see people so cranky, always understand these are people who have a lot of emotional baggage in their life. Okay? Or physic nodaganu gotagate. When their stomachs are protruding too much, physically not well fit enough, those are people who suppress their emotions very much. Ella police officers nodi higher odashtu hotte jaasti aache barutte. Because, they are not allowed to express what they have to. So they keep things inside. This is all with a case study that we didn't know we're telling you. Learn to express one's opinions in a manner that others can understand and appreciate. Okay? Innobru nim expressions nodi appreciate mado tar expressions na exhibit madi. Never show the worst side of yourself to anybody. The worst side of yourself has to be within you only. Nim gobrige gotirbeku, nim room ali, nim bathroom ali, wherever. Not even your life partner has to know the worst side of yourself. That is the quality of an emotionally intelligent person. Life partner andaga does not mean you have to say everything. So there's certain things that you have to keep for yourself, that you have to know. Same way, professionally, est emotion and express madbeka, express madidre saku nan. Okay? Think positive. Positive thinking andre eno? ನಾನು ಈ ಸತಿ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗ್ತೀನಿ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಬಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ನನ್ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಹೊಟ್ಟೋಯ್ತು. Is that positive thinking? Positive thinking is when you can think positive in the worst situations. Yes, I failed the exam. Next year, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ effort ಹಾಕಿ I will sit and study. An exam ಬಂದೆ, I had 100% confidence I will pass the exam this year. I did not pass. Life ಬೇಡ, ಈ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮೇ ಈ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಕಡೆಗೆ ನಾನು ತಿರ್ಗಲ್ಲ, ನನ್ಗೆ ಇದು ಸರಿ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್. ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದಾಗ, ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ವರ್ಕ್ಸ್ when you are at the worst time of your life, worst situations allೂ when you see a light ray of hope telling yes, ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರು ಸಿಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ, that is positive thinking. Everybody say ನನ್ನ ಲೈಫಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್, ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, my goal is this, my goal is that, ನನಗೆ ಈಗ ಜಾಬ್ ಸಿಗಬೇಕು, ಆ ಜಾಬ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೋಯ್ತು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವಿಟಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ರೂಲ್ ಲೈಫ್, ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್, ನನಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು ಲೈಫಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ, ಮೈ ಲೈಫ್. ಸೊ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವರ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಔಟ್ಕಮ್ಸ್ ತರಕ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಯು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಅನ್ ಎಮೋಷನಲ್ ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆಂಟ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೂ? If I can control my emotion, only then can I think positively in the worst situation. An emotion control ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ worst situation ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೂ worst ಆಗಿ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. Okay? Everything in the world has both the sides of the coin, that is both positivity and negativity. Everything is not always positive, nor always negative. So good days come and bad days also are there. If we focus only on negativities, you end up getting depressed, anxiety. Okay? If you make telling yes, parvagila, I will try it again, you have a certain level of positivity, then you will definitely be happy and satisfied with your small little lives also. This is my last one. I know you're getting restless then. Okay? Learn from failures. How? One thing is we have to accept our mistakes. Accepting mistake is the most important quality. That does not mean you need to tell everybody I am wrong. No. First, self-awareness beku nan tappu madidini anta. So which will help you to reduce your errors in the long run as you work. Okay? Don't let failures disturb the peace of mind for a long time. Yes, ee sati fail aitu. Next time, I learn from my mistakes. Now I know. So this time I failed my exam, I know why I failed. ನಾನು ಈ ಪ್ರಿಪರೇಷನ್ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಮಾಡಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗನು ಏನೋ ಎರರ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಈ ಫೈಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಯಾಕೆ ಎರರ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ದಿಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಇಂದ ನನಗೆ ಫೈಲ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಇನ್ನು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕಾನ್ಶಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿ I put effort and I will make sure I read everything before I sign something. So that is where learning from failures play a role. Learn the lessons from your failures and move ahead. So failures are only for you to learn. It is not to just stay there. Learn from that and move ahead from there. Okay. And this is the last one. Finally, be hopeful. Yen madadru life ali, you should have a hope that yes, it is something positive that I do. So this is what, who is that great man? So he once said that you start working on something, don't be afraid of failure and don't abandon it because you're scared of losing that. People who work sincerely are the happiest ones. For this, we call as fear of success in psychology. Success tagonake ellargu ishta, but a success band mele, a success jote added responsibilities, added pressure also barate. Adanna handle madak agilla andre, there's no point on taking that success. So as civil servants, these are the qualities with your emotional intelligence you need to have. So I hope I have covered. I'll just give you a few questions. Questions sikkide nange previous or question paper in that. So whatever I have done, I think it would help you answer these questions. You can try answering these questions and you can give it to sir. Okay. So these are the two questions that I could get from the previous year. So what are the main components of emotional intelligence? Can they be learned? Discuss them. It was on the 2020 IAS exam paper, I found that. The second one is emotional intelligence is the ability to make your emotions work for you instead of against you. Do you agree with this view? Okay. Sir, last one case study course, sir. I'm done. Just. ನಾನು ಆ picture ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ, that collector. This case had come in Times of India. It is a very old case, okay? So, is there anybody who could read this aloud? ಓದ್ತೀರಾ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ?
Old age pension of rupees
Supposed.
1,000 sorry, 8 year
Leave that. That's a place name. It's okay.
collector T.
Unbaragan. Unbaragan. Okay.
After selling on a banana leaf, collector sat on the floor, and had his food. Rakamman, who poured her heart during the lunch, was delighted to know that the collector later ordered a monthly old age pension of 1,000 for her. It was at a grievance redress meeting 2 days before the Unbagan was told about the women living alone in extreme poverty by people who requested him to arrange financial aid for her. Due to age-related problems, she could not do any work and earn a living. The old age pension scheme is meant to help such people. The district administration will take steps to cover all such persons under the scheme, the collector said.
So this was one case that had come in the newspaper where he acted with his emotional intelligence. Same place, this is another case, you can read it later, where this collector helped the woman get house because she had a disabled son. So Ali, Tamil Nadu Urban Habitat Development Board scheme ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೊಂದು house ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಟ್ರು. So these are the two. This case you can just go through. So it shows as to what steps he took, which I think, for us to write our answer would help. Like case studies banditala, nimge document ilde old woman bartare. So ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? He has given in detail on ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ steps ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, how did he help? I think we can try it out with the answers. I can share that in the group later. So we can just go through. I'm done. Sir, I'm done. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so two things. So one, love the work what you do, or what you love do that work. Which one is better ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಜನ ಯಾವ್ದು ಪ್ರಿಫರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ? ಏನೋ ಯಾವ್ದು ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಲವ್ ಡೂ ದಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಅಂತ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? I prefer and I suggest, again with experience also, I'm saying, better love the work what you do. There is no option. There is no option. ನಂದೇ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. I thought that teaching is my passion, no doubt about it. So, okay, left the job and came over here, fine. ಯಾವ್ದು ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದೆ. It is not that only teaching will be there forever. So many things will be there, administrative work, so many things will be there. Teaching will be like 30%, 40%, and 60% will be other work. You cannot escape from that. Okay, you cannot escape from that. So what is best way is love whatever you do. That means always it helps. If you start just I want to do only what I love, then you will be very selective. You have to keep on changing the things. It is not possible. You cannot, if you love education department, but everything, whatever is happening there, that is not like what you love, correct? ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಹಾಗೆ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So you cannot segregate, okay, I will only do this much work, I will not do this. So ಸಜೆಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ the earlier you realize that, more beneficial for you. ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ನೀವು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋ ಅದನ್ನ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡಕ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋ, ಏನಾರ ಮಾಡಿ, ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಂದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಒಂದೆರಡು ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇರೋದಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದೆರಡು ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ದರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಆಪ್ಷನ್, ಬೆಟರ್ ಲವ್ ಇಟ್. ಅದನ್ನ ಎಷ್ಟೆಷ್ಟು ಲವ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹತ್ರ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆಪ್ಷನ್ನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು. ನೀವ್ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ಬೋದು ಬೇರೆದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ನೋ, ನೀವು ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ವಿಚಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ರು ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ರೂಮ್ ವಿಚಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ರು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. It is not like that all the person in your family you love. Means you may be loving, you like whatever they do. You like whatever they do. Is it possible? ಮನೇಲಿ ಮಾಡೋರು ಎಲ್ಲದೂ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇದಾಗುತ್ತಾ? But still you tolerate. Why? Because you love them. Because you love them. The same thing is, real life ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿ. Okay. ಅದನ್ನ and anyway, session was like superb from introduction to end. So all points were covered, and I hope, say, exam point of view will be more focusing upon administrative point, but this is personality development point of view. So again, end-to-end emotional intelligence, how it is important ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು you have understood, right? Okay. And motivate, I feel she has motivated you people to do something, correct? ಆಗಿದೆಯೋ ಆಗಿಲ್ವೋ? ಫರ್ಗೆಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ರೆಸ್ಟ್. ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಿಪರೇಷನ್ ಹೇಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು, 100% ಹಾಕಿ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಹೇಳಿದಾರೆ ಸರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಡೂ ಲೈಕ್ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್. ಅದು ಟಾಪರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಹಾಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ಹಂಗೆ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಇರೋ ತರ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಓಕೆ, ಎನಿವೆ, ಟೇಕ್ ದ ಬ್ರೇಕ್. ಸೊ ವಿಲ್ ಡೂ. ಎಂಡ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ. ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ ಬೇಗ. ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡಿ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಟೀ ಕುಡಿಯಕ್ಕೆ ದೂರ ಹೋಗ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಧ ಗಂಟೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ ನೀವು. 5-10 ನಿಮಿಷದಲ್ಲಿ. ಹಾ,
ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಡುಕಿದ್ದೆ ಈ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇದು ಮೆಣಸಿನ ಹೌದಾ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮುಗಿದ ಯಾರು ಹಿಡಿದಿದ್ದಲ್ವಾ ಅದು ಶಾಪ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಸರಿ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಹೌದು ಅವಳು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಯಾರು ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ಯಾರು